All right, so we're doing something different today.
Yeah,
So, welcome. First of all, welcome to Retro Refuge.
welcome back.
It's been a while, mostly because I have been lazy and have not uploaded videos that are complete and are sitting in my box. Because making thumbnails and actually uploading it to YouTube are apparently hard. The thumbnails part is, but whatever.
I didn't get that though. I didn't get that.
Like, anyway, be expecting some stuff in the future, like the ending of BioShock Infinite.
Yeah, that's not posted yet. Okay, whatever, dude.
Which it's been about a month and a half now since we finished it.
We did beat it, guys.
We did beat it. Zach Braff's Ghost Adventures is not the last episode.
If only we could be that.
I mean, it was the peak. Let's be real. Like after that episode, we both were like, "Let's just get this thing over with,"
Yeah,
and
dude.
it just was more me ranting. Anyway, so we're doing a top 10.
Yeah,
Um,
we're cashing out. We're doing the easy shit.
I don't know. This seems already a little bit harder than what we were doing before.
Yeah, no, like for top 10 lists, I actually don't mind going through top 10 lists. They're pretty easy to. At first, like they're easy to think about going through, but I think it's easy to like, I guess to I don't know, to play to an audience for it.
Yeah,
But we decided to kind of do something a little different.
we're doing our own. Like this is our actual opinions.
Yeah.
So I expect people to shit on us.
Oh yeah.
Especially me. I don't know what Eric's list is,
I don't know what Jordan's list is.
but we each have our own top 10, and we're planning on doing a top 10 of last decade.
Yeah.
But we're gonna start with just the top 10 of each year in the decade, and then our number ones will become what we have to sort through for the decade. That way, it's not all like the other YouTube top 10s that I've seen that are like everything's from 2019.
Yeah.
Because that's the last thing we remember playing.
Yeah. And I don't know if it was already. I don't know if you can probably already tell from the title, but it's the top 10 game soundtracks from the year 2010.
Hooray!
This what we're going through, and
do you want to give the rules?
you give the rules. You probably know them a little better than I do.
Okay, so I made these up off the top of my head while I was driving home.
You get all your hard thinking done.
You can't put out a game like what would it be like the HD remix or whatever. Like it can't be like the collector's edition of this, like say Borderlands Game of the Year version.
Yeah.
Like it can't be like if it's original air date for North America.
Yep. And it has to be from North America.
Has to be North America. If it's the Japanese date, if it came out in 2010, but the actual game came out in America in 2011, does not count. You can't use that one. I'm looking at you, Pokemon Black and White. But yeah, so none of that. If it's an expansion of a game, like we ran into this one, Castlevania Harmony of Despair.
Yep.
Both of us would have put that on our list because
Hell yeah.
we love that game, and even though it probably isn't the best soundtrack, the fact that we're so nostalgic for it had to have made it go up there, even though most of the songs are from other games that came out a long time ago.
Yeah, all of them.
But anyway, the last song was released in 2011, so we're going with the last update of a game.
Yeah,
as far as
also is what screwed me over because I was gonna put for all of you MMO people, I was gonna put Wrath of the Lich King, but last patch date for Wrath of the Lich King was December 9th, 2009. So I got fucked on that one, and I can't do Cataclysm either. So okay then.
There we go. But yeah, I think those are the only rules. So North America release date, the final update of an expansion, and no Game of the Year versions. It has to be the original game.
Yep. And no weird re-releases and stuff.
Which you might have to call me out on one of these.
Okay. Will probably happen. You'll probably call me out on one too.
Okay. But I guess I'll start off.
Oh yeah, we're gonna. I think the order is like we're gonna each go like in ascending order, so we'll do like 10, 10, 9, 9, so people don't get confused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's me, Jordan. Hello.
Oh, hello?
I'm going to give you my number 10 pick.
Okay. And
what you got? Medal of Honor 2010.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Not bad. I actually haven't heard the soundtrack for that at all.
It is actually really good.
Why'd you choose it?
Okay, so Medal of Honor games usually have really good music. I remember this whenever I played them a while back. So whenever I was thinking of this list, I'm like, oh, a new Medal of Honor came out. I wonder if the music's still good. And I was like, yes, it is. Like, I listened up against like Black Ops and all those other games that came out this year that are pretty much the same genre. Yeah. And this blows them out of the water.
I would not have expected that. I haven't played a Medal of Honor game.
Okay, I can't tell you if this one was good. I have not played it. But back whenever I was in middle school and there were Medal of Honor games, I think for like the GameCube, I played one on PC, like early PC. Mark brought that over and we played it. They were really fun.
All right.
But I don't know how, like, once they became more of like a... Like Call of Duty became the big thing and everyone tried to copy that. I don't know if it kept its core values, but yeah, let me provide you with a little link.
Oh snap! What we got?
So you can listen. But I feel like it's actually like atmospheric and it kind of has emotion to it versus just generic movie soundtrack that most of these games have.
Yeah, I got you. Oh snap! Actually, from like the beginning of it, it also sounds like it's got like, weirdly enough, we're gonna like compare it to something more recent.
Yeah,
it's got like very subtle Nier vibes, if I want to say that.
Okay.
But I don't know about that. Like the Nier soundtrack, the fucking masterclass.
It is. You're right.
That soundtrack, dope. Yeah, no, that's pretty solid already.
All right. So yeah, so that's my first one.
Okay.
I didn't actually play the game, but I looked at Wikipedia and looked at all of the games that came out in 2010 in North America and started listening to most of the soundtracks, at least the ones that I thought would actually be good. I did not listen to like Zuzu Pets or Club Penguin.
You mean you didn't listen to the iCarly game soundtrack?
I did not know. I did not know.
iCarly 2 or whatever it was?
Yeah, so I was like, okay, I want to actually do a decent job. Like, so, I mean, I'm doing my best job here. People are going to shit on this anyway. But hey, that's my 10. That's my 10. It's my opinion. Get over it. What's yours, Eric?
Fair enough. I'm going to actually take you up on the same thing here where, like, you have where you said, like, it's kind of like a movie soundtrack?
Yeah.
Well, I got a game. My number 10 definitely had... It sounds like a movie soundtrack, but it's in all the good ways. I'm going to send you the link first.
Okay.
Well, it's Red Dead Redemption, baby. That soundtrack is great.
Dude, it is. It's really good.
Red Dead Redemption soundtrack. Because, like, it has, like... It doesn't really come into play that often. And usually whenever you're playing through it, it's got like little subtle jingles that happen through it, but not like full soundtrack. Until you get to specific like difficult missions. And man, when that soundtrack kicks in, it's like it's the same thing that you get when you're playing like a Souls game, where there's like no soundtrack really, until there's like a boss fight, so it really like kicks the whole thing up.
And then you remember. Well for, like, it sticks with you.
Yeah.
All right,
it fits really well. So I really ended up liking the Red Dead Redemption soundtrack. There's not all that much, but I think all of the songs have something memorable about them, or there's like a specific mission that you remember for them really well. And I mean, it fits the Western theme, and it's got that spaghetti Western thing going on really well, and it's just fun.
Yeah, no, that's a good one.
Also, as a reminder for I guess people that are just as a know-it-all for people that are listening in. I have only played half of the games in my list. This was one of them, but yeah, the other half of the games I have never played before.
I have not played 3 of the games in my list.
games. Okay. So I'm trying to be pretty objective a little bit, at least from what I heard. I didn't go through literally every game of 2010, but and obviously
Actually,
this is
4
also
games.
subject to change.
Yeah, if there's a game that you think we should have put in here,
Yeah,
please put it in the comments.
absolutely.
Like,
yeah.
I will say right here, right now, if someone puts a game out there that we like better, whenever it comes to the final pick, we can change it.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely, for sure.
We can change our 2010 pick, but
For sure.
it's only if it beats number 1, and that, I mean, I don't think I'm budging on mine.
Highly likely not budging on mine either.
So anyway, are you ready for my number 9?
What's your name?
My number 9 video game soundtrack of 2010 is Vanquish.
Vanquish. You know, I had thought about looking that one up, and I was like, maybe not on that one, but Vanquish. Okay.
Dude, it's like this like techno like I can't really describe it. It's just like, man, yes, all of the songs on the soundtrack are dope as hell, and they're all just like techno in your face, like you're fighting things with lasers, and
I'm mad.
it feels good.
I'm mad.
Why?
This is what the fucking Armored Core Silent Line OST should have been. Fuck you, man. No, well, the thing is, like, I like the Armored Core soundtracks too, usually, and I listen to Silent Line, and I don't know, nothing really grabbed me. But, like, the link you provided, I'm like, yeah, that shit grabs you, like, instantly.
Dude, okay, there's also this one that okay, I haven't played this game. I want to now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. I haven't played it either.
But there's one song that just all of a sudden goes like disco.
Oh, snap.
Like, I'm just like, and that's what made it go on the list for me, was just like, okay, it's not all just like techno, lasers,
Yeah.
like everything. It's just like, oh, you're varying it up.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that about that. So,
Yeah, I like battle techno shit. Battle techno stuff's always fun. This is a good soundtrack though so far. I like the song.
it does. Like, as I was clicking through all the songs, like listening to them, it's like, I would put this in my car and just
Yeah.
drive.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
Like, every single soundtrack I have on my list, I would listen to in my car.
Yeah.
That was one of the top things, and that is a reason why. And spoilers right now for people that probably expect this on my list. God of War 3 did not make it.
Ooh. Okay. I got you.
Because it was just like every song started the same with this deep like bass, like boo, and then it just these manly men just go.
Yeah, I got you.
And I was just like, every track is the exact same thing, just kind of a little bit like small differences. I'm just like, no, like. And another big reason is because, and this is 100% because I played the new God of War, which has a much better soundtrack.
Yeah.
And I'm like comparing it. I'm like, they're in the same decade. Would this stand up against this? Absolutely not.
Gotcha. Okay.
So all these people, they're like, God of War is great. I'm like, yeah, the music is good, but as a whole soundtrack, I can't give it anything.
No, I got you.
Anyway.
I got some picks that probably I wouldn't listen in the car that are higher up on my list here, but I get that. But I usually pick them just because of how well they fit the game.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
yeah, this sounds like what Armored Core Silent Line should have been.
Yeah.
Makes me mad.
All right. But yeah, I didn't mean to take away from Vanquish by talking about God of War 3. So
sorry. Yeah, whatever.
Let's move on.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna pull a curveball here, and I'm gonna give you my number 9 game here. It's not gonna be expected, but how about some of that J-Rock though, right? The video game J-Rock.
How is it pronounced?
This game series.
How's it? It's like Wise? East?
It's East.
I know
East,
what it
the
is.
Open
I've never played it, and I'm a big JRPG fan.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I
this
haven't
should
played
have
this
been in my range of vision, but
I have not played this game either. But East, the Felgana, that soundtrack, fucking dope. It is great. It is awesome. I love it. Like that boss thing that I just sent you. Shit's like chaotic and crazy.
all right.
And it's fun, and I don't know, man. It's just like, if I have a guilty pleasure, it's like, for music at least, it's like garbage I want to call it like butt rock, but it's not really.
It's not
like
butt rock.
It's like video game anime rock.
Yeah, no, so I was actually thinking about this during the list because it made me think about music.
Yeah.
Do you know the TV show Ruby?
Yes.
So most of the Ruby music, I was like, what is this? Because what's it called? Sonic Forces has music that's almost identical to it. And I'm like, what is the genre for this? And I'm just like, this is like anime butt rock.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
it's just weeb butt rock. And that
it's like the most weeb shit, but I'm like the most anti-weeb person.
But
I don't know why.
But you know what? Whenever something vibes, it vibes, man.
Yeah.
You gotta go. But yeah, no, that's good. I accept that choice. I'm not gonna shit on you for that one.
Yeah, the Oath and Felghana, I kind of want to play it now, but I need to go back and play a lot of these games, to be fair.
Well, aren't they all connected?
They're all like first of all, they're all like super hard action games.
Oh,
like
really?
Action RPGs. Like, apparently. I played one a little bit, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna need to actually like set some time aside to fucking go through this, because it kicked my ass at the start. I think they might be a little bit grind heavy, so I probably need to like find a better game to start with and then go from there.
You probably need to find a new job.
Kind of like, yeah, exactly. But kind of like with like the Tales of games. Yeah. There are good Tales of games to start with, and there are bad Tales of games to start with. And I think this is definitely going to be following the same trend.
Okay. As long as you start with Tales of the Abyss.
Pretty much.
Because it's just probably the best one.
Yeah, that one's phenomenal. But anyway, that's my number 9. What's your number 8?
Okay, so this is the one where you're gonna really you're gonna give me shit about because I may have broken a rule.
Okay, all right.
My number 8 choice is Super Street Fighter 4.
You know, you did not break a rule because I had considered doing that as well, but it did not make my list.
I was like, okay, I love the Street Fighter music, and this one actually adds a lot more tracks.
Yes.
That were not in Street Fighter 4.
Correct.
However, all of the songs from Street Fighter 4 are awesome and are also in here. So it's giving it. I mean, it's kind of breaking the rule, but it's not. So
I wouldn't say it is because they do add new stuff in there, and they also got rid of the absolutely 100% the best menu theme right from regular Street Fighter 4.
I can feel it coming over me. I feel it all around
I think they have abandoned that in Super Street Fighter 4, which automatically makes it way better.
I forget the words, but I know it ends with "It's my destiny."
Yeah, the actual butt rock.
No, that wasn't butt rock. But
rap, I don't even know the word.
I know it was just a thing that happened. I don't even know. Like,
yeah, no, for Street Fighter soundtrack. Yeah,
Street Fighter.
Track's dope.
Yeah, nah. And I, of course, had to send you one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, of course. Because, like, I mean, like, Cammy Theme's also really good. It's one of the more memorable ones from Street Fighter 4 anyway.
I mean, first of all, Cammy's my girl.
Yeah. Cammy's good. She's fun. She's cool. She's not my Street Fighter.
I'm still salty. I'm still salty because we did a tournament for Street Fighter 4.
Yeah.
I spent so long practicing Cammy, getting her good. We get there and they're like, oh yeah, we didn't unlock any of the characters. I'm like, there's 2 characters to unlock and you just have to play the game once. What? So I could not play the character I was practicing with for the tournament and instead had to Turtle Guile.
Yeah.
And I felt like shit because no one wants to play against Turtle Guile, but I mean, I didn't know how to play anyone else, so I'm like, let's pull up the Street Fighter 2 strats and hope they work. And they got me through the first round.
Yeah.
And the other person watched me play and was like, oh, fuck you. I know how to beat Turtle Guile.
Yep.
But that other person just I felt so bad because he just did not know. I think it was some kid. And I'm like, this is what you get for not being old enough to remember Street Fighter 2.
You haven't put in your dues. You gotta face the old school strat of Turtle Guile.
But yeah, okay, so that's me. That's my 8.
That's a good one. Okay, my 8th one. If you know of this game and you are somehow watching this video, you are like the rarest person ever.
Do I know this game?
I think so.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So this game effectively has like over the top ridiculous orchestra music.
Eric, what's the game?
And it's fantastic. It is 99 Nights 2.
Okay.
But 99 Nights 2 is and it's like an old beat 'em up that is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Like one of the characters is some freaking elf lady with like long ribbons on her wrists that have blades at the end. It makes no freaking sense. Nobody makes sense in this game, but the music is pretty hype though. But it's fun. It's fun stuff for like, I don't know, man. It's just like it's over the top, epic orchestra crap, and I eat that stuff up too.
All right, yeah, I can't say anything about that one. I've heard of the game. I think probably because you talked about it.
Yep.
But I don't know it.
Yep, I'm not surprised. Is it worth playing? Not if you can play like any Dynasty Warriors game besides 6 or 9. But it's
what about Samurai Warriors?
Samurai Warriors works too. Play Samurai Warriors.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like a fun beat 'em up. It's okay, but like yeah, there's better things out there. But the music is really fun and it's really good.
All right.
And it's silly.
All right. Are you
ready?
ready?
What's your number 7?
This is where I think people are gonna start actually getting mad at me. I'll redeem myself later on, but my number 7. This is Donkey Kong Country Returns, baby.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, interesting. That is interesting for sure. Okay. But yeah,
I like Nintendo games. I like Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
And this song remixes a lot of the Donkey Kong songs, and they're better, and also adds its own in the style, and I love it. And is it probably objectively better than some of these others that I did not put on the list? No. But to me, it's the soul says yes.
Okay.
And I love me some Donkey Kong, and the music works perfect for the game. I don't care what anyone says. If you put a different soundtrack to Donkey Kong Country Returns, it will not work.
Yeah, like that's fitting. I think, I mean, everything else that I have on my list moving up, except for like maybe 1 or 2 games, all fit the game perfectly. So I agree with you on that. Yeah, that like the Donkey Kong Returns soundtrack. Yeah, you couldn't really have any other soundtrack for that game. It's pretty much fitting. The only thing that I ended up not liking about it too much was that I felt like the songs that weren't originally from David Wise were missing something for me. But other than that, yeah, I like all the remakes. The remixes for them are really good. I do like some of the original songs; they're pretty good. For me, it was just like it's just missing. There's just something. It's a little bit of something. I don't know what it was, but even without it, it's a really solid song.
All right, Eric.
Yeah.
What is your number 7?
Oh, well, we want to speak about games that fit their game like almost perfectly. What you know about Metro 2033?
That was one I was looking at.
Metro 2033 soundtrack, dude. If you want like a Russian survival horror spooky game, man, Metro 2033 is fun as hell. It is weird. It is creepy. It's got like a lot of goofy guitars with it, and like just like simple guitars, but it gives you a very like it gives you the horror feeling, like the horror vibe for it, very very strong. And it's a fun experience to go through if you haven't played it. Having to manage all of it's just like the gameplay and the music works really well, since you have there's a breathing thing, like breathing replacers that you have to worry about. Ammo is like not super common, so you still have to. It works really well with the survival horror element, and the soundtrack fits the game really well. It has that same kind of vibe of like, ooh, it's spooky, and I like it.
I mean, it's always good to have a game that just makes you go, huh.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much Metro 2033. It's great. I haven't played any of the follow-ups, but I kind of want to get more into Metro series sometime.
I mean, from what I've heard, they're really good.
Yes, me too.
I'm just not really a big first-person shooter guy. Like, I'm not bad at them. They're usually just not top of my list of games I try. Like, I don't know what. I think it's because I played too much Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Probably do it.
And then I just was like, Jordan, there's more video games than just first-person shooters, and I stopped because, like, I think whenever that came out, we played that the entire year.
That was like religion played that game.
Very little deviation from that. So, yeah. Anyway, my number 6 is the one I'm gonna get the most crap for.
Really?
I can hear it right now. And this was originally number 10 on my list. And I kept listening to it, and it's climbed to number 6.
It spots up. Okay.
So, number 6 for 2010, Jordan Dieter's pick. Kirby's Epic Yarn.
Oh. You know, that's actually also very interesting because, I mean, dude, it's Kirby's Epic Yarn. Kirby's Epic Yarn is freaking perfect. It's like, it's a game that fits, like that soundtrack does fit that game very well. I will give you that for sure. I am not going to give you shit about that. Not at all. Yeah, dude, it's Kirby's Epic Yarn. Like, I understand.
I can just see someone in the comments, it's like, you put Kirby's Epic Yarn in there, but you didn't put God of War 3? What a loser. And you know what? Every single song in Kirby's Epic Yarn sounds different.
It does. It sounds unique.
God of War, you can't say that.
I will give you that.
I tried so hard to put God of War on this list to make people happy, and I just could not do it.
Give you that.
But Kirby's Epic Yarn makes me feel happy. It fits the game. It makes me feel happy. The music's great. It makes me feel happy.
It is a great soundtrack to the game. It fits the game.
You put it on in the car, road rage goes away. Like, if you ever just want to feel better, like if you have a bad day at work, put on Kirby's Epic Yarn.
Yeah, that'll do it.
You're gonna be like, okay, you know what? Maybe life isn't so bad.
Oh yeah, man.
And then you turn it off, and then you go, no, it kind of is. And then you put it back on, you're like, oh no, we're good. We're good. Everything's fine now.
Yeah.
And that's why Kirby's Epic Yarn is a strong 6. And it's not number 10, it's number 6.
Okay. That's a good spot for it. That works.
All right, Eric.
But keeping with the Nintendo train,
no.
I feel like it would be unwise of me not to include this because it is just from sheer volume impressive. But Super Mario Galaxy 2, baby, that's it.
See, I had a feeling. I'm like,
yeah.
If there's a top 10 list for 2010 and that's not on it, something's wrong, and that's not foreshadowing.
Yeah. Super Mario Galaxy 2. Yeah, I mean, you're right though. I mean, like the game soundtrack is absolutely amazing. I never played this game, and I've listened to the soundtrack before. It's great. It has that epic vibe that I was talking about earlier that showed up with 99 Nights. Instead of it being like overly symphonic, it fits very well. It has a very adventuresome feel. It has a very like wondrous feel for it, and it's a super solid soundtrack. And I do need to play this game eventually. If only I didn't have a strong disdain for most 3D Mario games.
I mean,
but hopefully, maybe this one will get me over it. I don't know.
I mean, I love 3D Mario games, so if you want to watch someone play it, I could do that.
I could probably do that.
Because I'm also not bad at them. I'm not good, but I'm not bad, so it can be pretty fast.
Okay, that's fine.
It's not gonna be no Game Grumps where I say I'm really good and then I just mess up the entire time. And then blame the controls.
That never happens.
I've never once been bad on camera.
Of course not. No, not us be bad on camera playing a game has never happened. Not once. Not a single time.
I'm not allowed to pick any of our videos up as reference material either. Just take our word for it. I promise.
Yeah, that's it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Super Mario Galaxy 2, beautiful.
Yep.
Like,
what about you? Moving up to number 5.
Moving up to number 5. All right. So I'm got this one's already been said, so we don't really have to say much about it. But it's Red Dead Redemption.
Red Dead Redemption. Okay, that's fair. I mean, yeah.
Like, the thing I like about it is that, yeah, it's all spaghetti western songs, but they're all different styles of spaghetti western.
Yes.
They don't sound the same, so it's like you can be vibing with one, then you get another one, you're like, oh wait, this one sounds like it's from Mexico. This is awesome. Yep. Oh, this one's different. Like, it's just like everything about it is perfect, and I love it. And I can just put this in the car, and I'm just like, oh, this horsepower in my car is actually a horse that I'm riding.
Yeah, no, I agree, dude. I love that soundtrack. It's great.
So yeah,
it's solid.
But yeah, so that's my number 5. What's up with you?
Yeah.
Number 5.
With my number 5, I think if I'm gonna get hate, especially from Jordan, for any of these, it's definitely gonna be my number 5 pick. However, I cannot, in good conscience, even though I've never played this game, even though I don't like this game, I cannot not include it because I cannot do one of my favorite composers wrong that way. We're looking at Kingdom Hearts, Birth by Sleep. You know, it's there. Yep, there it is. I knew he was going to give me crap for it, but I couldn't in good conscience not put this in there. Yoko Shimomura is a freaking goddess of music. Everything she does has been fantastic. This is no exception.
So I'm sure this is a good soundtrack, and I'm not going to fault you for it, even though I hate this. Just to tell you how much I hate this, I've looked through the Wikipedia page of 2010 games. I never saw this.
You never did?
I think my brain blocked it out.
September 7th, 2010.
Hold on. I am going to look it back up. But I've read this. I've looked over this thing multiple times. Hold on. Okay, so Birth by Sleep. Yep, there it is. There it is.
Yep.
Came out on the PSP, September 7th.
Yep.
Never saw it.
Yep.
Never saw it. Never even thought to consider it. I even was like thinking in my brain, I'm like, there's probably a Kingdom Hearts game that I should listen to. Otherwise, people will get mad at me for not putting Kingdom Hearts on the list. But I'm like, oh, there is no Kingdom Hearts. Sweet. It's probably because my brain was like, there's only 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, no.
And I know that's not the case, but you know what? How about you just name them 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or whatever instead of 37 underscore 12 days?
Because then you don't get like 1.8 remix Final Clash out of 2 days Dream Drop distance.
You know how okay, so we're not talking about the soundtrack, but I just
oh, is there a rant mode enabled for Kingdom Hearts? What have I started?
Kingdom Hearts 1. Young Jordan in middle school. Loved it. Waited. Oh, I'm in high school. Okay, this is cool. Oh, Kingdom Hearts 2 dropped. Oh, this is an amazing sequel. What is that? We got Captain Jack Sparrow. Oh, sweet. Oh, the music's great. I love this. And then nothing. And then I found out, oh, I needed to buy a PSP to play Kingdom Hearts. Okay, well, I don't own one. So maybe whenever I have enough money to buy one, well, I finally got one, and I could not find the game anywhere. So I was like, okay, well, I don't need this. Then they came out with all these things, but I started seeing, like, the names of them. So, like, Birth by Sleep, whatever the Fraction one was, then Dream Drop Distance, and all that stuff. And it made me just go, I don't care anymore. Like, if they just gave it, or like, Birth by Sleep is probably one of the better ones, but like, once they started like putting fractions and stuff, and I know they make sense if you know the story, but I didn't, and it turned me completely off of the games. Like, I was like, this just seems complicated, and it's just the title.
Yeah, my biggest issue that they had with it is like they put out too many that weren't numbered like that, so it is kind of weird, where it feels like you have too many side stories that are now required to understand the big picture. Because like Kingdom Hearts 3 doesn't make any freaking sense, right?
I played Kingdom Hearts 3, and I have words to say about it.
Okay.
Like, I was like, I want to know what's going on with this story. And then I played the entire game, and they never even once mentioned the story until the final area. Then they're like, by the way, here's the story of Kingdom Hearts. I was like, what? did I even do in this entire game? It was just Sora.
Like all the other ones.
It was just Sora go. No. Sora literally just faffs around in all the Disney worlds, doing jack all. Doesn't accomplish anything. Just kind of is there. And then he's like, oh, well, everyone else found this one place, so I guess I'll follow them there. And then they're like, okay, here's all of the story. We saved it all just for this one place. Like, why even put those other levels in the game? There was no point. Anyway. Dream Drop Distance.
Anyways, not
Birth by Sleep. They're the same game.
No, they're different. They're very different. But
which one has Terra, Aqua, and Vindictus?
This one, Birth by Sleep.
Is that his name?
It's Ventus.
It's close enough.
Yeah.
Anyway,
for the soundtrack itself, it is very. There's a ton of it in there. It's very elaborate. It's very musical. It's done by. I mean, Yoko Shimomura had a part of it. There were other composers that did some work on it too. But it's a very well done soundtrack. You kind of have to listen to it as like on the whole is really what kind of brings it together for me. But it's a good soundtrack. I also do not like the game. I also do not like the story. But I'm not going to be hating on the soundtrack. It is too good.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go to my number 4 before I go off on another tangent.
That's fair.
And we're gonna put an actual good JRPG on the list.
Ooh.
So we're going with Xenoblade Chronicles.
Oh, okay. All right. Nice. Really? That came out in 2010?
Yep.
Oh man, that one must have slipped by me then. Dang.
And I had to go with Ricky the Legendary Hero Pawn because I love Ricky.
It's fair.
Is it the best song? Absolutely.
Absolutely. 100%. Without doubt. All other songs, trash. It's got to be Ricky.
It's funny because it comes after my pick of Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
And it also has harmonica in it, so it's just like this is just an additional extra song for Red Dead Redemption. But no, like the whole soundtrack, like there's so many songs in the soundtrack and all of them are good. Like JRPGs usually have a lot of songs, and granted a lot of them are filler because you're like, oh, here's random town or random quest thing, and you're like, okay, well that's, but like everything makes sense, everything sounds good, and whenever you actually get to like the big moments, it's just like, okay, I'm in this, I'm here.
Yeah.
Like they captured me.
Yeah.
I've been captured. I want to know what's going on. I have emotion in this fight. Like, let's do this. Like,
I know what you mean, dude.
If an RPG can get me to do that, I'm happy. Because usually they don't. And the reason why they don't is because of music.
Yep.
Or poor character design. Final Fantasy 13. Oh wait.
Ooh, got it. I'll talk about that one later, Brett. Probably when we get to my number 4,
which is right now.
Okay, well, if we want to talk about JRPGs that are going to hit kind of different or have all the songs kind of really hit hard or work really well, and then I guess I'll go on my rant for a game that is not going to appear on my list. But you know what? It may seem a little bit of a cheat, but I'm doing it anyway.
Okay.
So my number 4 game here, we've already seen something from it before, a little bit, but it's E7.
Were there 2 Ys games coming out?
2 games out in 2010.
Oh my god.
Because the earlier Ys game came out in Japan, but wasn't released in North America until 2010. But it was like a 2006 game or some shit.
Okay.
But the E7 that has like the same thing for me that Xenoblade Chronicles did for you. It's like I like all the songs in that game. I like all of the like they fit all of their moments really well. They have some really fun combat themes. I love the town theme. I absolutely adore the town theme. It's one of my favorite town themes in all of the RPGs. Which that could be a top 10 for another time. But I like the main theme is like anime J-rock at its finest. Oh. There's even a version of it that's got vocals. Oh, they're terrible. Beautiful. I love them. But,
so, I just want to say, there's a soundtrack that I've been listening to. We're going to get to it. I think it's 2014.
Okay.
It's already my top one contender. Like that is the one that things need to beat, and
Gotcha.
It's beautiful. I love it. No one ever talks about it. And a few people talk about it, and they're the smart ones. But a lot of people don't even know what the soundtrack is. But it's my favorite. It is a contender for top of the decade, and I've never seen it on any decade lists.
Damn. Okay, looking forward to the future.
But yeah.
But
anyway,
I don't.
What you said just rung true for me. So
yeah. I don't think, since I got most of my JRPG stuff out of the way, people might be expecting a game on one of our lists. I can tell you right now, for me, Final Fantasy 13 is not on my list. Final Fantasy 13 is not anywhere near close to my list. It's not even in my honorable mentions. Final Fantasy 13 has literally 2 good songs, and the rest of it is terrible. You can you don't even have to argue with me about it. I don't care because you're wrong. And I can tell you why. What the fuck is a Foul C? Nobody cares. Nobody knows. That entire game is terrible. A lot of people will say like, "Oh, it's great. And it's great when you get like a lot of time in." And like, no, it's not. Snow's an awful character. Hope is an awful character. Vanille is an awful character. Fang is kind of okay. Lightning's and Zaz is the only good character. And by good character, I mean Zaz is the only character I would tolerate in another game.
Well, also Zaz, like, they do his arc super fast.
Yeah.
Like, once his son's gone, it's like, okay, why is he even here still? Like, he's just along for the ride. And I was like, you were the one I was invested in, dude. Like, you had a son, you had all this stuff.
Whatever.
And instead they're like, let's have this weird best friend / love interest thing with Vanille and Fang. And I'm just like, whatever. I'm done.
Literally the only good thing for the soundtrack for that game is Blinded by Light and Saber's Edge. Those 2 songs are great. I will never argue that those are not great. They're fantastic. I don't like anything else in that game. But
okay, let's move on before you pull a Kingdom Hearts rant.
Exactly. All right, what is your number 3?
Number 3? Okay, so this one, like, I'm surprised it's number 3 for me. I thought it would be number 1 for sure, and it was also number 1 and got moved down to number 3.
Okay.
As I was making this list, but it is Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game.
Ooh, okay. That's a very good choice. Very good choice.
Anyone who says this is a bad soundtrack, you're wrong.
Yes.
Objectively, you're wrong. This is chiptune at its finest.
I 100% agree.
Like, the band, I think the chiptune band that made these songs, after making this, like, became like the number 1 chiptune band in the world.
Yep. Managuchi.
Yeah, so it's like, I think it's Anamanaguchi. So, like, if this was their start, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like, you hit perfection.
Yeah, the Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game is extremely good, and anyone that doesn't have that on their top 10 is 100% incorrect.
Also, we're going to be doing a Let's Play of that in the future.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because it's coming out on the Switch.
Absolutely.
Because it's been in limbo hell for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, if you didn't have a PS3 that got it in 2010, you pretty much couldn't play the game anymore unless you pirated it. But now it's finally coming back out, and I'm going to play it, and hopefully it doesn't have the same lag issues that we had back in college whenever we played that.
Yeah, hopefully so. Hopefully it'll be revamped a bit, but it's like a super, super fun beat 'em up.
It's like if River City Ransom came out today.
Yeah. Well, I guess River City Girls kind of did, but I still like Scott Pilgrim better than River City Girls.
Yeah. I don't know, River City Girls had its charm, but
it's fun.
The music of River City Ransom was better.
Yeah.
Or not River City. Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm confused by all the great beat 'em ups, so let's just move on.
Okay. Well, my number 3, I think is pretty fun. I'm thinking it might show up on your list later. I'm not sure yet, but it is my last RPG that I have on the list here. But I think it's a very, very worthy one. And that's Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
So, I'm not gonna knock that. I did not put that on my list.
Really? Okay.
Only because I did not know if it counted.
I'm
says
saying
it's
it does count.
Pokemon Gold.
I'm saying it does count for Heart Gold and Soul Silver because it has different versions of their track.
But it's
And
the same tracks.
If Donkey Kong Country Returns counts, Heart Gold and Soul Silver fucking counts.
But there were new tracks.
And there's new tracks, yeah.
Okay, I'll give it to you.
I think there are new tracks on this as well. I think
it is a solid soundtrack,
but
and I will give you that.
It's fun. Everything is remixed for it, and like a lot of the older, like the songs can be changed so much that they do sound like new songs. Like the Surf theme.
That's true. That's true.
Is very different than the Heart Gold Soul Silver theme.
That's true.
And like with like different instrumentation for it, obviously, because we're going from something that's more.
You're going from a Game Boy Color to DS.
Yeah, it really makes the song sound different.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, I'll give you that. I was just like kind of on that line, so I chose to just err on the side of caution. But that's a good choice. I will give you that one.
For sure, for me is number 3 from the volume and come on, man, it's
it's the Pokemon soundtrack to the game that everyone says is the best.
Yeah.
Until they wanted the Diamond and Pearl remakes, and now they're saying Diamond and Pearl was the best. So it's the Pokemon community doesn't know what they want. They don't.
But I do know I want this soundtrack. It is a good soundtrack.
It's a great soundtrack. All right, are you ready to move on?
Yeah. What's your number 2?
My number 2, again, is a game that you have already talked about.
Okay.
But it is also with my love of Nintendo, Mario Galaxy 2.
Super Mario Galaxy 2.
It's amazing. Like, I love this soundtrack. It's so good. It fits so well. Like, it's kind of up there with Kirby's Epic Yarn. You put it in, you're just like, I feel great.
Yep. Yeah.
And
I agree.
Everything about like it's not just a soundtrack. Like it was made for a purpose, and the purpose was for good listening and making these levels just boom. Like
pop out. Yep.
Like everything about like if you did not have the music for Mario Galaxy with the game, the levels would not be as much fun. Mario Galaxy 2. But then again, the same thing is with Mario Galaxy 1, which came out earlier, but like they both had amazing soundtracks, and this one kind of copies it a little bit as far as the like vibe they're going for. So, but I think 2's better. Everyone says 2's better. I'm gonna say 2's better, except it does not have the observatory theme, which is my favorite. But you know, that's why it's not number 1.
Yeah. On the whole, though, the Super Mario Galaxy 2 soundtrack is great. It's amazing.
All right.
If we're going to my number 2, you know what? I think I'm right up there with you, buddy. It's Kirby's Epic Yarn for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's number 2.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Dude, it's.
I thought I was gonna get shit on so hard for that.
There is literally no soundtrack, I think, except for my number 1, that fits the game better. For that game, like the Kirby's Epic Yarn soundtrack is like perfect for that game, like for the visual style, for the actual aesthetic for it, for like the style and the feel for the game. It is flawless.
Listen, I am smiling so big right now.
Deny me otherwise. The Kirby's Epic Yarn theme, like actual like soundtrack, is great, and I love it. And I, even though like when I played through it, was it hard? No Kirby games are hard. Was I challenged in the slightest at any point in time? No. Did I have a blast playing it? Absolutely.
Yeah, we played through that together, didn't we?
Yes, we did, and it was great the whole time.
We just were sitting there like idiots, just like, this is so much fun. We're like, it's so easy, but I love every second of this.
It's adorable.
And people were, I think it was Mark and Austin, someone was over. It was like, why are you guys playing this? Like, it just looks so easy. We're like, shut up. Just shut up.
You just don't get it, do you?
just shut up. I'm playing Kirby.
It was great, but yeah, dude, like the Kirby's Epic Yarn, yes, thumbs up. Can't give that one enough kudos. But I think before we get to number 1, don't we have honorable mentions to mention?
Yeah, I got a decent amount. I got 6, so I'm just gonna label one of them off.
Okay.
That way we don't have to talk about them. We'll save some people some time. So my honorable mentions. No, I got 7. I'm sorry.
I got 6.
My first one is Enslaved: Odyssey to the West.
Okay.
That got kicked off because of Medal of Honor. But I really liked it. It again varies. It wasn't just a generic like, hey, we saw what's that movie called? Inception, and it's all just wong, like, because this I think it was 2009 where a lot of games like Arkham City and all that stuff, or the Arkham Asylum games, like it wasn't Arkham Asylum, but it was one of the newer ones. It just Arkham City. It was just such a generic, like, this is a movie song, like, soundtrack. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, whatever. Next, Bayonetta.
Okay.
Great soundtrack, but it just did not make it. Like, as I was listening through it, there were too many songs that were just kind of like gothic, like just similar. Then after that, Mass Effect 2. Like, very good soundtrack, just not quite up there for me. Sonic Colors. Best part of Sonic Colors is the soundtrack. Sticking with that. Super Meat Boy.
Okay.
Deadly Premonition.
Oh, really? Okay. That's alright.
Just for the one song, and everyone knows the song.
That's fair.
Like, for Deadly Premonition, it's just that one song, and I'm playing it right now because I have the magic of editing. But yeah. I might just make that over the entire honorable mentions and just have that song playing because it's the best. And then lastly, Halo Reach.
Fair. That's not bad. Well, I guess if I gotta go over my honorable mentions as well. We've had some of them listed already, but I only had 6. My first one was Donkey Kong Country Returns. Yep, it's. I can't argue that it's not a solid soundtrack. It was in my list for a bit, but it was missing that one little thing. I don't know what it was, but it's a really good soundtrack. But it just wasn't quite up to snuff for me. Mass Effect 2, which is already listed, obviously also has a really fun soundtrack, but it was just kind of bland, to me, but still memorable in some parts. And the same thing happens with Fallout New Vegas, which was my another honorable mention of mine. It has like a lot of radio, which I don't think really counts, but some of like the themes and beats that pop in as you're wandering the Mojave, it can hit pretty solid. It's a soundtrack that you don't remember exists, but the game wouldn't be the same without it, weirdly enough. My fourth one was Shantae's Risky's Revenge, which didn't make the list because the soundtrack is very similar to the first Shantae game, but that doesn't stop it from being a fun soundtrack. It is definitely a fun OST, but it just felt like it was way too similar to the earlier game for it. But it's fun. Another one which didn't pop up, but actually fits the game really, really well. It's in the same vein as Metro 2033, but it's much scarier. Would be Amnesia: The Dark Descent. That soundtrack is super spoopy.
So, I don't know Amnesia. I've never played it. I've never watched anyone play it because I'm a baby.
Super spoopy.
I did not know that it had music. I thought it was just like silent.
It's mostly ambient, but yeah, no, it's got some moments that'll just like freak you out. It's got a fun soundtrack. And of course, how could I not include Mega Man 10?
Well, because it was Mega Man 10. It's as good as Mega Man 9.
Correct, but it still had Mega Man-ish music.
It had Mega Man-ish music, but I guess that's why it's an honorable mention. But like,
yeah.
Whenever I was looking through all the lists and I saw Mega Man 10, I'm like, for sure, this is gonna be in there. And then I listened to it and was like, maybe not.
Yeah, no, Mega Man 10 it's got some fun themes. Strike Man's is okay, but yeah, Mega Man 9's OST is better for sure. But I mean, it's still a Mega Man game. It's still solid.
All right, well. Is that all of your honorable mentions?
Yep, that's all my honorable mentions.
Well, I'm going to let you go with your number one since I know that it's already been talked about.
Yeah, and I already mentioned it before. It's Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game. Of course. For what we for. It's flawless. Like, that soundtrack is actually perfect for that game. There's no other soundtrack I would ever think of that would work for it. It is 100% top tier, chiptune greatness. Rock Club especially, super thumbs up. Oh my god. but literally everything is just like it hits super. It hits super different. It hits really nice. It's got a good pop to it, and yeah, it's great. And for me, it's definitely a good contender for like best of the decade. But I don't think it's the top, but I think it's on up there.
All right, I'm gonna go with my number one, and I am surprised this is not on your list. Honestly,
Okay.
like I'm blown away. I'm going with a JRPG, which is it's not a standard JRPG, but it is a Squeenix game. We're going with the Nier soundtrack.
Nier soundtrack. Okay. Really, that came out in 2010. I must have
2010.
missed it. Jeez, I must have missed that entirely then. Holy shit!
Everyone's like Nier Automata. And I'm like, what about the game that has almost identical music to Nier Automata? Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Well, then, yeah. I wouldn't put that over Scott Pilgrim because I do love it, but that probably would have knocked out Red Dead Redemption and put got a number 2. Honestly, I just didn't know it came out in 2010. I didn't see it.
Yeah. No. I was listening to because I recently was replaying Nier Automata.
Yeah.
And by I was playing it, I was watching someone play it. So the music was just like, okay, this is amazing. So I started listening to the soundtrack, and it swapped over to the normal Nier, the first Nier soundtrack, without me even knowing, and I was still just like, this is amazing. And then I was like, oh wait, this is just Nier.
Yes, the Nier OST is super super good, but as much as I really really like it, even though I didn't know it came out in 2010, I definitely would have included it in my list, but I completely didn't know it was there. So that's my new number 2, and everything else moved back down, guys. I still like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World more, but I can't not like that. That's for like a mix of nostalgia and also just how good of a freaking chip tune track that is. But the Nier soundtrack is like, I mean, 100% fantastic.
Okay, so just a heads up for our decade one, it might be Nier Automata 1, Nier 2.
That's fair. That's a very very valid choice for both of those.
That's not gonna be it. But yeah, no. So yeah, that's our list. I'm sure everyone hates us, and no one agrees with us for any of this. Except maybe Scott Pilgrim and Nier. But I'm sure there's a bunch of Nintendo fans that are like, Mario Galaxy wasn't number 1, excuse me. And then all of the Squeenix people are just like, how could you not put Final Fantasy 13 on there? How could it not even get an honorable mention? Because, like Eric said, there's 2 good songs. Maybe if you spent less time in a hallway, you could figure that out.
Spend less time trying to actually get your freaking your freaking graphics right, you could actually get a battle system that's engaging and fun and not having to switch paradigm shifts every freaking 3 seconds. Whoa, what a gameplay choice. Wow, I almost have to play the game.
That's a hot take there, Eric. Anyway, this is about music. This is about music.
Yes, it is.
It's not about us ranting about video games we don't like, even though it is. So you got baited. You got baited.
Got him.
Yeah, but tell us what you think. If you don't, tell us whose list you think was better.
And give us
Put
your
that
top
in the
10.
comment. Yeah, give us your top 10. Or, just tell us what's wrong with ours.
Yeah, that works too.
But if you want to see more of this, leave a thumbs up, subscribe. If you don't like it, please don't leave a thumbs down. It makes me cry, but I'll accept it. But yeah, tell us what you like, what you don't like. Hey, well, we're here to learn. We're here to do better. So hope to see you in 2011.
Yeah.
Whenever I talk about a video game that I don't even know yet because I haven't looked at that list.
Yeah, well, we'll figure something out.
Did Modern Warfare 2 come out then?
Oh, God.
Because that might just be the whole list.
God damn.
This is all I know. It's all I know. No, Black Ops came out 2010, and Black Ops came out. Okay, so yeah, no, we're safe. We're safe.
Okay, we're good.
Modern Warfare
All right.
3 came out then, and that one was poopy.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.